Hey everyone, welcome to a new update, and today we're going to focus on a few altcoins that you should be watching if you are into the markets right now, and we're going to look at it from a technical standpoint. So we're going to use charts to see where we can derive potential entry points, which we also do in our premium membership, and that is something that you can check out for free for 1 month if you sign up through Bybit through our affiliate link, which you can find in the description beneath. Also, if you deposit 1k and do one future trade in 1 week, you get an addition of $100 for free. So before we continue, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and also check out our other socials where we are posting a ton of content regarding the markets. Now, when we're looking at the altcoins, we can definitely agree that Bitcoin is currently making an upwards move. At least we are having a breakout above 19.6k, and we're still waiting to see how that settles and whether or not we're going to sustain above 19.6k, while in the meantime we've got miners capitulating. That also means that the path towards a potential relief rally is going to take a higher chance at this point because of a potential pivot from the Fed, or at least pausing the actual hiking period. As for yesterday, we also had advanced GDP kicking in, which gave inflation numbers of 4.1%, which is a drop of almost 5% on the prices within 1 quarter. So the inflation numbers are most likely going to fall off a cliff in the coming months. And that means that we can dive into some altcoins to see where they are at. So let's jump into the charts and let's jump into the altcoins. So when we're talking about altcoins, there's a few that we should be watching. First of all, there's Binance Coin, which is currently a lot in the news due to the fact that it's just building with the ecosystem. We also know that in the regulatory framework, they are building up quite nicely. And the actual price action is looking pretty decent, as they have not been losing as much as the other altcoins have been doing, due to the fact that the Bitcoin pair is currently still swimming around the all-time highs. So we could not deny Binance Coin within this actual update on the altcoins. I've been marking that if we were going to have a bounce here and break to the upside, my TP would have been here. We got quite close, and now we're just consolidating on Binance Coin. And also Binance Coin had some news coming in, as they are also investing into Twitter, and therefore it's an interesting one to look at, especially since we are constantly making higher lows here. So we've had this actual technical area to look at around $250, got front run here, and now we have also been making higher lows since then. So what are we looking at when it comes to the price action of Binance Coin? We are looking at a potential resistance here at $295, and we do have a support here at $275, which we want to sustain on. So if we have a correction, then your long entry is at $275. What are you targeting then first? You're targeting $325, and once we crack through $325, we are definitely aiming for $400, which is a run of 30 to 40%. And if that even breaks, Bitcoin is going to break some big levels as well, and we can continue to have the run here when it comes to Binance Coin. So long entries are definitely here. The crucial resistance to break is the area around 295, because then we're taking all these highs here and can continue to run towards the high here, most likely actually take it. So then we're looking at 340 to 350, to be honest. So yeah, there's two scenarios that you could be looking at when it comes to longs. You could be looking at 275 for a long play here, and you can be looking at a flip of 295 for a long play on this one. And when we're discussing Binance investing into Twitter, we also almost inevitably have to watch Dogecoin, which has been running quite significantly. And the advice I would give with this is to avoid chasing assets. All right. So we have been seeing these big expansions here when it comes to Dogecoin. One day we're going to get it again when it comes to the markets of crypto, but you overall should be avoiding chasing those trades, especially since it has been going very volatile at this point. And if you're looking at the daily time frame, you're definitely not finding the support that you're looking for. If you're looking at the daily time frame for Dogecoin, you're looking at a retest around 0.067, so 6.7 cents. That is probably the first area to go for, and the second one is the area from 6.1, and then you can start targeting the highs that we have here at 8.6 to 10.1 and potentially even 12.5 if there is more news coming in from Elon. But as you have been seeing, the 1 hour chart gave a very nice PA here. First of all, we had this high, we've got another high, bearish divergence in play, which is often a result in which we're going to have some reversal downwards. And when we go down, you can start marking the next level for support, which is this block here. What does that mean? Well, we've got a drop of approximately 15%, but more importantly, we got this high here, which rejected at the first high. That would be the trigger. This would be the TP, would have been hit, and this area would have been your long. So when we're looking at the 1 hour time frame, you're probably going to look at a retest around this area here, and then you can start targeting new highs, which we have been marking previously. That is 10 cents for a potential TP there. So this one is also one to watch, but always avoid taking excessive risk when it is about trading altcoins, because if you're going to take excessive risk, you will be burned someday, and most of the people in the bear markets are actually burned at this point. Another one that we should be watching is Matic. Matic is also within the Binance ecosystem and showing a ton of strength, which therefore is important to keep an eye on. And when we're looking at the PA, it's actually showing a potential here. So we've got this block, right? This block is holding still. Few beautiful retests. We also got the block here if we lost the actual level around 70 cents, which we didn't. And from there we started to gain momentum, and Matic is also showing fundamental strength, which means that there's some serious continuation likely going to happen here. What do we see on the price action of Matic at this point? We clearly have the resistance around $1, which is an opportunity to short, probably even already hit here. But this is an area that we should be looking at for potential shorts. If we do lose this lower time frame level around 89 cents, I'm definitely targeting longs around the area of 84. So then you can be looking at 84 and then start targeting $1 and most likely 130. If we do have a breaker of $1, then probably the retest is the trigger. Of course, the aggressive one is currently already hit on Matic, but I would always advise if you're playing on the higher time frames to avoid taking those excessive risks and just wait. As you can see on the left here, we also have all those retests taking place, but this is definitely one you should be keeping an eye on. Now we also have Chainlink, which is still fighting the actual trend here, right? So we are still bouncing with lower highs and actually bouncing on support quite often, as we can see here. We are still at support and we are still in the block of support, as we can see here. So anything that we are creating in terms of higher lows, that is what you want to get as a trigger. What do we see? We do see resistance, another block here, and again this block. So we can see that with those wicks here, we couldn't crack Chainlink at this point. So we are waiting to see where the buyers are stepping in again, and we have to induce a higher low to actually trigger continuation when it gets towards Chainlink. Right now we do have this slight bounce, which means that $7.10 is a trigger for shorts, and then you can start targeting, taking out the lows here, and then you are targeting a potential long entry around $6.70. On the other end, that is very comparable, by the way, as with Matic, for instance. So if we get towards $6.70, that is your long trigger. And then your long trigger bases yourself with this stop. And then you're probably going to target $8.10, giving you the optimal risk reward of above 3. Now, if we do make this breaker, then this retest is going to be your trigger as well, with the same TPs and potentially even looking at $9. So that is what we're looking at when it comes to Chainlink. I would definitely avoid taking excessive risk once again, but these setups are the setups that I'll be looking at when it comes to trading altcoins. And I think that more altcoins are ready to make some movements. When we're looking at Aptos, Aptos is very volatile, finally correcting significantly, which means that I'll be looking at these regions for actually long plays. So if you want to trade Aptos, this is your trigger for shorts around 870. The squeeze of the low here is actually a trigger for longs, but most optimally, you're probably looking for $7.50 here. So let's get towards the end of this update and get towards a conclusion. I hope you have been enjoying this update. I'll be back tomorrow with a fresh new explainer video, which we will be doing to discuss the markets. We are going to discuss Aptos during this weekend, and we are covering the gas prices and energy crisis in Europe, as Europe is still having a hard time. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I'll see you again tomorrow during the explainer video. Ciao!